This presentation explores St. Finian's Church and Graveyard in Lucan, County Dublin, and how its tangible and intangible heritage are presented and curated. All videos, photographs and images in this presentation are mine, except where specifically cited as the works of others. The church dates from the 11th century, but it has been ruined since the 17th. It's known colloquially as Esker Church, which reflects its location on the Esker, a glacial feature of a series of eskers which stretched from Dublin to Galway and which effectively formed a highway across ancient Ireland known as the Slíomhar. According to the entry in the National Monument site, the church is a long rectangular building built of roughly coarse masonry and aligned east-west. It is all that remains of the medieval parish church associated with St. Finian. It was extensively rebuilt in the 16th century when it had been re-roofed in timber. The site is currently owned and managed by South Dublin County Council. Located approximately 2 kilometres from the centre of Lucan village, in an area now known as Lucan South, this site is one of a number of medieval sites associated with the locality. Although it may be difficult to imagine now, looking at this modern urban landscape, within a few hundred yards of this spot are what are thought to be Ireland's oldest standing bridge, the late 12th or early 13th century King John's Bridge, the site of one of the 4 medieval royal manor houses of Dublin, Esker Manor, and the Anglo-Norman church site and graveyard of St. Finian's. Being surrounded on all sides by housing estates and a very large school campus has brought many challenges to the conservation of the heritage of the area, and the site has suffered from neglect and antisocial behaviour over the years. Fortunately, Lucan has a very active community-led heritage group, the Society for Old Lucan, which was founded in 2017, and this group has devoted considerable effort into documenting, recording, promoting and conserving this site. The group is a member of the Federation of Local History Societies and is registered with South Dublin County Council Public Participation Network. As part of their work to promote and preserve local heritage, the group decided to apply for the Heritage Council's Adopt a Monument programme, and in 2019 it was one of the 7 heritage sites selected from across the country. The group also received funding in 2019 from the Heritage Council and Creative Ireland, which enabled an architectural assessment and geophysical survey of the site to be carried out. These assessments and surveys revealed that there is evidence of even earlier ruins at the site. A whistle-stop tour of the site reveals some of the efforts to conserve the tangible and intangible heritage. Upon entering, there is a permanent weatherproof display containing some historical and archaeological details, as well as a well-annotated map. This was produced in partnership between the Society of Old Lucan and South Dublin County Council. Additionally, there are QR codes provided which allow the visitor to access an online version of a 1989 book by Dr. Michael Egan, which contains details of all the inscriptions of the graves in the graveyard. A second QR code leads visitors to the Society for Old Lucan's online blog and to a PowerPoint presentation by one of its members, Jonathan Cully, which offers the visitor a 3D visualization of what the exterior and interior of the church may have looked like in the late medieval period. The presentation also takes the visitor through the links between this site and others of interest in the greater South County Dublin area. Returning back to the tour of the site, in this slide we can see some of the preservation efforts in conjunction with South Dublin County Council, which was facilitated by €30,000 of government funding from the July Job Stimulus Package via the Community Monuments Fund. The demographics of the Lucan area are among the most ethnically diverse in the country, and very few residents would have been from the local area originally. This has posed some challenges in terms of community engagement that the Society for Old Lucan have addressed in a number of ways. Some of the recent initiatives to generate interest in the site from these newer community members' perspectives include a virtual Tweety tour of the site during lockdown and a very successful evening this September where members of the community participated in a workshop on evening photography at the site with the focus on capturing the local biodiversity. The success of this event was rewarded by it winning South Dublin County Council's award for Heritage Week events. The local group are also very mindful of the opportunity to capture aspects of the intangible local heritage and are currently engaged in a project with archaeologist John Tierney of Achtra, who is providing training to members on capturing local people's memories of the graveyard and church throughout the years. This presentation has explored St. Finian's church and graveyard in Lucan. We have looked at examples of both bottom-up and local government-led efforts to capture, present, preserve and protect the tangible and intangible heritage associated with the church and its environs. This study has allowed us to see some best practice in terms of local involvement in the heritage process, and particularly how local communities can successfully address some of the challenges of curating heritage in a multicultural urban community. Thank you.